The 24 Hours of Le Mans isn't just any race. It's a grueling test of endurance, skill, and sheer willpower. A crucible where only the toughest can emerge victorious. Back in 1991, a relatively unknown Japanese automaker pulled off the impossible. Mazda 787B crossed the finish line first, etching its name into the annals of motorsport history. But how did this underdog manage to outpace the giants? What made the 787B so special that it could conquer one of the world's most brutal races? This is the untold story of Mazda's 787B. A tale of innovation, perseverance, and a high-stakes gamble that paid off in the most spectacular way. Mazda's venture into motorsport didn't kick off with dreams of grandeur. It started in the 1960s with a risky move to embrace a unique type of engine, the rotary engine. Unlike traditional piston engines, which rely on the back-and-forth motion of pistons, the rotary engine, brainchild of a German engineer Felix Wankel, operated with a triangular rotor spinning inside of an oval chamber. This design meant a smaller, lighter engine that packed a punch well beyond its size. For reference, the Wankel rotary engine could produce about 100 horsepower per liter, a figure that was quite impressive for its time, especially when considering the compact nature of the engine. Mazda saw the rotary engine as their golden ticket into a crowded automotive landscape. While other big names were perfecting their piston engines, Mazda went all in on their rotary. Sure, it raised eyebrows, with many in the industry doubting its reliability. The rotary was powerful, no doubt. Keeping it running smoothly? That was a whole different story. Early versions of the rotary engine faced challenges like apexial wear, which could lead to a loss of compression and, eventually, engine failure. But Mazda wasn't about to back down from a challenge. Determined to prove the skeptics wrong, Mazda decided to test the rotary engine where it would be pushed to its limits, on the racetrack. They entered various racing categories over the years, aiming to show the world what the rotary could do, but those early days weren't kind. Mazda's rotary-powered cars struggled to achieve the results they were hoping for, yet they didn't give up. Mazda believed in the rotary engine, and they were ready to do whatever it took to make it a winner. Mazda's first serious attempt at endurance racing came in the early 1980s with the 717C, a Group C junior class car powered by a two-rotor engine similar to the one in the RX-7. This engine produced around 300 horsepower, a respectable figure for the class, but endurance racing required more than just power. It required reliability and fuel efficiency, areas where the 717C and its successors struggled. For instance, the 717C was lighter than its competitors, tipping the scales at just over 800 kilograms, but it still couldn't keep up in the long run. Mazda kept pushing forward, introducing the 757 with a three-rotor engine that upped the power to around 450 horsepower. The 767 followed with a four-rotor engine, pushing output to about 600 horsepower. Despite these improvements, Mazda's cars were still falling short. At the 24 Hours of Le Mans, their best finish was a 5th place, which didn't even count due to a disqualification over an oversized fuel cell. The highest legal finish for the 767 was a disappointing 10th place. These early setbacks were tough, but they taught Mazda's engineers valuable lessons. They knew they had something special with the rotary engine, they just needed to refine it further. The lack of big wins was frustrating, but it also fueled their determination. Mazda learned that in endurance racing, durability, fuel efficiency, and finding the right balance between power and reliability were key. They started focusing on improving the engine's thermal efficiency and reducing the friction losses in the rotary design. Both critical in endurance racing, where every bit of efficiency could mean the difference between winning and losing. As the 1980s came to a close, it was clear Mazda needed to switch gears. Their stubborn commitment to the rotary engine was admirable, but without major breakthrough, they'd never reached the heights they were aiming for in motorsport. It was time to rethink their strategy, to push both the rotary engine and Mazda to new levels. In 1990, Mazda introduced the 787, a car that was the result of years of hard-earned experience and relentless development. Powered by a 2.6-liter four-rotor engine producing 700 horsepower, the 787 was an evolution of the rotary technology Mazda had been refining for decades. The engine's compact design meant that it had a significant advantage in terms of weight distribution, contributing to the car's agile handling. This engine could crank out up to 900 horsepower at 10,500 RPM, but Mazda decided to cap it at 9,000 RPM to keep it reliable, a lesson they'd learned from their past struggles. The engine also featured a sequential twin turbocharging system, which helped in achieving high power outputs while maintaining a relatively broad power band, a crucial factor in endurance racing. The 787 was a technological marvel, featuring a monocoque chassis made from Kevlar and carbon fiber composites. This made the car incredibly strong and incredibly light. Weighing in at just 830 kilograms, the 787 had a power-to-weight ratio that gave it blistering speed, 0 to 62 miles per hour in under 3.5 seconds, with a top speed just over 210 miles an hour. These figures put the 787 in the same league as the top-tier competitors for Mercedes and Jaguar. The car also featured advanced aerodynamics, with a low drag body and an adjustable rear wing that provided downforce with significantly increasing drag. Despite these impressive stats, the 787 was up against some serious competition. Group C racing was dominated by giants like Mercedes and Jaguar, and Mazda knew speed alone wouldn't be enough. The 787 was fast, but it needed more refinement to compete at the top. So Mazda's engineers went back to work, and out came the 787B, a car that would go on to make history. The 787B wasn't a radical departure from the 787, it was more of a fine-tuning. The basic design and engine configuration stayed the same, but there were key upgrades. The biggest change was the introduction of a continuously variable intake system, which optimized the engine's performance across different speeds, allowing it to maintain higher torque levels at lower RPMs and more power at higher RPMs. This made the 787B faster and more reliable. The car's suspension was also revised to accommodate larger tires, which improved grip and stability, especially through the corners. The engineers also added new carbon ceramic brakes, which offered better heat dissipation and stopping power, crucial for a 24-hour endurance race. The 1991 racing season kicked off with cautious optimism. The 787B had shown promise in testing, shaving seconds off its lap times. For instance, during pre-race tests at Le Mans, the 787B managed to clock a best lap time of 3 minutes and 33 seconds, putting it in a competitive position against the likes of Mercedes and Jaguar. But the real test was yet to come, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the most prestigious and grueling endurance race in the world. Mazda had been here before, but they had never come close to winning. This time though, things felt different. As the Mazda team prepared for Le Mans, team manager Takeyoshi Ohashi made a bold call. Traditionally, Mazda had played it safe, focusing on mechanical preservation to ensure the cars could last the full 24 hours. But Ohashi believed the 787B was different. It was more reliable, more efficient, more capable than anything Mazda had built before. So instead of playing it safe, he told the drivers to race it like a sprint. It was a risky move. Le Mans is a race where endurance often matters more than outright speed. Many cars have led only to break down or crash in the final hours. But Ohashi's confidence in the 787B's engineering, and perhaps a bit of desperation, drove him to push the car to its limits. Mazda needed a win to justify the years of investment in the rotary engine, and this was their best shot. The race began, and right from the start, the 787B was a beast. The number 55 car, decked out in the iconic Renown livery, climbed the ranks quickly, moving up to third place behind the two Mercedes cars. The 787B's consistent lap times, often in the 3-minute 35 range, allowed it to steadily climb the leaderboard. As the race wore on, the 787B kept up its relentless pace. While the competition began to crumble, the second-place Mercedes went off track, its gearbox wrecked, and the first-place car dropped out with mechanical issues, leaving Mazda in the lead. With just 2 hours left, the number 55 Mazda 787B was holding strong in first place, 2 laps ahead of the second-place Jaguar, which was also having its own problems. It was becoming clear that Mazda was on the verge of an historic win. When the checkered flag finally waved, the Mazda 787B had completed 362 laps, covering nearly 5,000 kilometers, a new record for the circuit. The car had averaged over 207 kilometers per hour throughout the race, an incredible feat given the conditions. Against all odds, Mazda had won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, becoming the first Japanese manufacturer to do so and the only one to win with a rotary engine. Winning Le Mans was a monumental achievement for Mazda. The 787B didn't just prove that the rotary engine could compete, it proved that it could win at the highest level. The victory silenced many critics of the rotary engine, demonstrating its potential when engineered and managed correctly. But the celebration didn't last long. The rotary engine, the heart of Mazda's racing success, was banned for the 1992 season by new regulations that effectively limited engine designs to those with traditional piston configurations. The 787B was retired immediately after its historic win, never to race again, but the car's legacy lived on. The 787B became an icon of endurance racing, celebrated for its unique design, its distinctive rotary engine, and its unexpected win at Le Mans. It found a new life in museums, car shows, and even video games like Gran Turismo, where it captured the imaginations of a new generation of fans. The car's victory also inspired Mazda's future engineering projects, keeping the spirit of innovation alive within the company. Mazda's triumph with the 787B was a testament to their unwavering commitment to innovation and their refusal to give up on the rotary engine, despite its challenges. The 787B remains the only rotary-powered car to win Le Mans, a symbol of Mazda's ingenuity and determination. The story of the Mazda 787B is more than just about a race car. It's about perseverance, about believing in an idea when everyone else doubted it, and about achieving greatness against all odds. The 787B's victory at Le Mans is a powerful reminder that in motorsports, anything is possible when you combine innovation, determination, and a little bit of luck. Mazda may have been the underdog, but on that day 1991, they proved that even the smallest players can achieve the biggest victories. If you enjoyed this story, Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more tales of automotive legends.